Take of your shoes, for this ground is holy, where the mustard seed moves the mountain. In the heart of that celestial discourse, where the radiance of divine truth intertwines with human longing, lies the essence of our existence, the relational cause that hovers above, that courses through all paths. With every whisper of the wind and the song of the stars, we are beckoned to heed the profound connection woven into the fabric of creation. The mustard seed will move the mountain. Yet, such a journey of its shadows, where the tale of Cain and Abel unfolds. Ah! The bitter winds of jealousy did stir within Cain's heart, like a tempest upon the sea. In his haste and fear, he allowed the mountain of pride to rise, casting a dark shadow upon his relationship with God and his own blood. Abel, pure in spirit, offered forth his harvest with the steadfastness of that mustard seed, ever faithful, ever trusting in the grace bestowed from on high. In this tragic unfolding, we see the choice starkly laid. Fear births mountains that entrap the soul, whereas faith allows the humble seed of love to flourish. The mustard seed will move the mountain. Consider, too, that ancient struggle between Jacob and Esau, the rugged Esau, who, in a moment of weakness, relinquished his birthright for a mere broth, reflects the folly of haste, the mountain of ignorance stretching ever skyward. Jacob, though flawed and cunning, clutched tightly to the mustard seed of faith, wrestling with the divine till dawn's first light. In his strive, he transformed into a vessel of revelation, renaming him Israel, the one who contends with God. Thus, we learn from their graven paths. Those who yield to the perilous heart of fear in the entrails of haste shall see their mountains loom large. Yet those who embrace faith shall walk a path of grace illuminated by divine leading, revealing meaning in every struggle. The mustard seed will move the mountain. In the annals of history, let us not overlook Nebuchadnezzar, the king whose heart, once adorned with the trappings of conquest, became a mountain of madness. Exalted upon his throne, he gazed upon the greatness of Babylon and declared, "Is this not the great Babylon, which I have built?" Yet, his pride, like a shadowed mountain, separated him from the divine, culminating in a swift descent into insanity. Cast out among beasts, his mind unraveled, teaching all who would heed that to place oneself as a mountain above the Creator is to risk the abyss of madness. In stark contrast, the humble heart, nurtured by the mustard seed of faith, finds clarity and peace in surrender to God's will. The mustard seed will move the mountain. Let us not overlook the figure of Elijah, the prophet bold, who stood upon the mountain, yearning for the voice of the divine amidst the clamor of nature's fury. As fire danced and the earth shook, he stood, awaiting the touch of God, not in the tempest nor in the earthquake, but in a still, small voice, quiet and profound. This moment unveils the truth that the mountaintops of grandiosity produce only echoes, while the tender whisper of truth speaks life into the humble heart, the very mustard seed that embodies faith-abiding revelation. In this sacred interaction, we see the foreshadowing of Christ, who, in his earthly ministry, would reveal that the true path lies not in outward displays of power, but in the quiet strength of unwavering faith, compassion, and service. The mustard seed will move the mountain. Oh, heed the lesson from the prophet Amos and Amaziah. Can two walk together, except they be agreed? For there looms a mountain, full of false prophets, priests, and kings, feeding a hard and rocky ground that stifles the seed's grace. Yet the humble mustard seed, the perfect prophet, priest, and king, blooms in the hearts of keepers of sheep, and the sycamore trees sway in the Spirit's breeze. Beyond the tumult, where cleansing rivers flow, the richest of soils, where faith-abiding revelation thrives, and revelation from these rivers of life cascade forth. It reigns above the mountain peaks, above where eagles soar on warm currents of divine breath, uniting the heights of vision with the lowly earth. In harmony, the sacred call sings, "The mustard seed will move the mountain," turning our gaze to Peter, the steadfast figure among the companions of Christ. Behold his heart. In tempest and trepidation, he stepped upon the roiling waters, embodying that mustard seed of faith. "Lord, If it be thou, command me to wade. Such boldness, yet when doubt's grasp took hold, he faltered and sank beneath the waves, an echo of the mountain's overwhelming grasp. O thou of little faith, why dost thou falter? Thus spoke Jesus, a gentle reminder from the divine that when we become ensnared in fear, our path diverges into darkened woods, fraught with toil and trouble, double, toil and trouble. For without faith, the mountains reign supreme. The mustard seed will move the mountain. Oh, to the mount where glory and dread entwine. The Transfiguration, a canvas where divine and mortal grace didst intertwine. There stood the radiant forms of Moses and Elijah, shrouded in eternal light. The disciples, awash in awe and trembling fervor, did cry, "Let us build 3 altars, one for thee, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." Yet, from the depths of radiant truth, Jesus rebuked their haste, saying, "Nay, ye seek to codify the ephemeral in stone, when it is the very heart of love that sustains us. For the kingdom I bring is not found in altars tall, but in the surrender of self, the service of spirit." In this delicate moment, his words danced upon the air like a haunting refrain, admonitions echoing through the ages, reminding us that the relational cause penetrates every stone laid and every heart poised for action. The mustard seed will move the mountain. Conclusion, if there is ever one but death itself, but death has no sting with the gift of life. The mustard seeds promise that will move this mountain. Beware, lest in your quest to elevate any mountain, you find your path encumbered. Double toil and trouble awaits those who strive for heights of pride and self-glory. For amidst the peaks, God ever remains, the burning bush upon the ascent, casting light upon all deceit and falsehood. Beware, for the pursuit of elevating any mountain weaves a treacherous broth, brewed from the bitter herbs of ambition, despair, and pride, seasoned with the salt of deceit and stirred with the fire of unchecked desire. Into this cauldron, add the roots of envy and the flesh of false promise, mixing until thickened, a concoction that sure may lead the heart astray. In this mountain's shadow, clarity falters. Beware, for such a potion extinguishes the light of truth. Only the mustard seed of humble faith may cleanse the palate of this tempestuous brew and reclaim the path to the holy ground where the Spirit dwells. Thus, in his presence, divest thyself of the mundane. Remove thy shoes, for this is holy ground, where only the mustard seed of humble faith can flourish. The mustard seed will move the mountain.